2017's Prey takes place on Talos One, the flagship space station of TranStar Industries. It's home to hundreds of crew and visitors, with production lines, research labs, corporate and executive sectors, a fully fitted gym, a swimming pool, a movie theatre and a bar. All across the ship, the architecture is absolutely made to impress. Even the functional greenhouse that provides much of the food on Talos One fits perfectly into the Arboretum, a fully living space that serves as the closest thing to fresh air that the crew can enjoy. Truly, the design, attention to detail and unimaginable cost of Talos One shows that when it came to building this station, there was no expense spared.
Spared no expense.
But despite the fruits of TranStar's labours, there's one problem with this spaceship. Like any good arcane game, Prey features plenty of pipes to climb on. In fact, there are so many pipes on Talos that you might think you've strolled into a dispensary. In fact, there are so many pipes on Talos that you might think the Scottish are coming. In fact, there are so many pipes on Talos that you might think that some oil deposits have suddenly been found in space and that a friendly country has come along to help settle the area. It makes sense that a huge spaceship would need a lot of conduits for all of its life support systems, oxygen, water, fuel, everything. But there's one particular bit of plumbing that isn't getting enough attention here. Because it's all well and good to appreciate the incredible construction of Talos 1, until we start to think about Talos 2. Number 2. This piping problem goes deep, all the way down to the sewage treatment plant in life support. But we don't have 3 hours to explore all of that, so unlike a Mario speedrunner, I'm going to focus on just a single pipe today. The poop pipe. One of the first proper missions in Prey sends us to the hardware labs. Now, the hardware labs is a great place to work. There's a break room, drinks dispensers, water fountains, even a live demonstration theatre that serves alcohol. It's a great and refreshing change from the monotony of office life on Earth, but all those refreshments and beverages come with a cost. For every Talos branded coffee cup scattered around that causes anxiety to newer players, there's a matching crew member that needs a trip to the bathroom. Which would be fine, except there isn't one. The nearest facilities are all the way back on the ground floor of the lobby. Now, it's not really a huge distance, but it's more than seems reasonable. Put yourself in the shoes of Lorenzo Calvino. You've just finished drinking from your specially weighted thermos. You feel content, but then you remember something. You're a man in his later years, your prostate is having a boxing match with your bladder, you'd better dash. So you head down the stairs, and then up the stairs out of your office, then across the atrium, through the hardware lab's entrance. You go to the specially sealed safety door, and into the lobby. You head for the stairs but realise that your path takes you directly through the teleconferencing suite, and oh no, it's occupied. So no matter, you cross over the other side, across the bridge, through the sales division, and then down the stairs, and finally to the loo. This might not feel like a huge undertaking, but for Dr. Calvino, a man in his later years, with a failing memory, paranoia, nightmares, a sudden desperate need to visit the loo could be far too sudden for this journey. Or, for the 20 staff who've just watched the latest glue gun demonstration and enjoyed too much duck beer, there's going to be a stampede through the sales division. Prey does have some optional survival mode features, but what would make the game truly challenging for me is a Death Stranding style piometer. Imagine hiding from a nightmare or trying to knock a corrupted operator out the sky when suddenly you're in a race against the clock. You've got to make it to the nearest toilet before absolutely ruining Morgan's brand new TranStar uniform. Now, Prey is on my perfect games list. I have so much love for it, and I truly believe Arcane made something amazing here. You might think I'm taking the piss, or talking crap, or any other toilet metaphors that fit, but truly, I don't think this was a mistake by the devs. I think this was intentional. A canonical shortage of restroom facilities aboard Talos One just makes sense.
And so, obviously, it's going to be a tough time for people on board. The player's just moments behind the wave.
So, although it's not explicitly confirmed in the game, accept this as a toiletary canon. That's toiletary, not toiletry, although a toiletry cannon could be a pretty cool weapon. Maybe a future patch to the game could add that. I know you're all on the edge of your seats, especially if you're watching this from the comfort of your own bathroom, so I'm going to come straight out and say it. Recyclers. Yes, that's right. That big red machine that can turn anything back into the rawest materials, including organic matter. This might be hard to accept, but think about it. There's no way people made it all the way from hardware to the lobby ground floor, especially not in the volumes that they would have needed to. And this recycler right by the door, in a semi-private alcove where a recycler had no reason to be. If this area was screened off with a sink and a cubicle, you'd never question it. Prey's story is full of misdirection, and this toilet masquerading as a recycler is just another part of that incredible world building. I know what you're thinking. How unhygienic. But the recycler technology is pretty intense. You can throw in a bottle of gin, a banana peel, some eels, plastic tubing, and a vial of human blood, and it breaks it all down into clean little cubes of raw materials. Are you really telling me that sitting down on that recycler wouldn't leave you cleaner than the full wipe of a neuromod removal? And if none of that was enough to convince you, then just take a look at this. Tucked behind the recycler on some inconspicuous boxes, none other than the gold dust of a global pandemic, the noble toilet roll. It is worth noting that at the start of your playthrough, that this recycler will actually be malfunctioning. I can only imagine what may have caused that. But there's more. Every location that is lacking a good bathroom facility seems to have some sort of secret alternative. I'm not going to list any more of them in this video, but maybe you can find them on your next playthrough. Here's a hint though, there are a lot of reployers dotted around the station, and you can't spell reployer without P. And, lorry? Okay, so, I'm going to leave this video here. Now I've relieved myself. I mean, now I feel relieved that I've shared this. I really feel like I've been stopped up, and now I've jumped into this lore analysis. I feel like I've finally had a good release. I can wipe my mind clean. But if you're a fan of Prey and you want to hear more from me that isn't total crap, then stick around. I'm working on a real analysis that's growing longer every day, and I promise it's not about toilets. Well, most of it isn't anyway. So if that's your bag, feel free to join me, and if not, you can flush this video goodbye.